Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be facilitating this Scaling Ventures course with you in Summer B. I know it's a fast-paced course, only 6 weeks, and we have a lot of ground to cover. So I'm going to go right into it and go and do a overview of the course for you so you have a feel for what is expected in the course. Please reach out to me through Canvas inbox with any questions or concerns. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get you started. Here we are in our course. So this is the homepage, the landing page when you arrive in the course. You can see that we have a mission for the course here, the transformation of ventures through strategic growth. And this is what our main focus of the course. Also here, I have my email address here, but I prefer that you contact me through Canvas inbox over here because I can associate you with this course. I teach other courses in the summer, so it makes it more manageable for me to get back to you quickly with an answer. Okay, so now if you want to reach out to me after the course is completed, perhaps you want a letter of reference or something, please send me an email through the FGCU email system at that point. But while we're in the course, please use the Canvas inbox for messaging me. All right, so here we go. Start here with the course module and how we get started. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, at the bottom of the course here, this course just went through a high quality, rigorous review through the e-learning department at FGCU, and it has received credentials for doing so. However, if you find something that seems amiss or there's some error in the course, please bring it to my attention. I'm always trying to make this course the best it can possibly be. All right, so let's go ahead and get started in the course modules. To start off here, I'm going to place this video recording right here under Professor's Welcome and Introduction to the course, so that's where you will find it. And then we go right into some of the other components of the course. There is a course overview that goes through some of the items within the course, but it's also just kind of mimics along with the modules. And I'm going to go through that with you now. There is an optional textbook. It's not required. It's only if you want to dive deeper into this topic and you want to learn a little bit more about one specific area of the course, then go ahead and get the textbook. It's not required at all, though. Next, I have some grammar resources that will hopefully help you because this course does require a final written report, and I do expect college-level writing and grammar. So here you may find some good resources here to help you. And here is a link to some top grammar mistakes to avoid. So kind of some simple mistakes that people tend to make on a regular basis. You might find it amusing, but also helpful. And then here are some university resources and support that may help you. So once you've gone through that, then you want to get started in the acknowledgements. So I have estimated time 15 minutes. It really won't take that long. I stretch out and I have the time estimated a little bit more than what it would take. So here I ask you to acknowledge that I have a video lecture in every single module. And just like this video lecture explains the whole outline of the course to you, each module will explain the outline of the module and hopefully will help you to go through the module with ease. So here I ask you to acknowledge that I do have those videos, and please review those videos. They're short videos. This one might be a little bit long because it's explaining the whole process of the course, but the videos within the modules are they tend to be brief. The next item here for acknowledgement is the honor code. I ask you to acknowledge that you will be honorable and you will not cheat in this course. But also we have a lot of teamwork associated with this course. So each person usually holds each other accountable for the team effort. But I ask you to please go ahead and acknowledge the honor code. Then we have a learner information station. This information provides me with information as to whether you are a entrepreneurship major or minor, and if you and also your contact information, cell phone information, just in case I need to get in touch with you. Last semester, I had a student that did not complete one portion of the course, and it was so detrimental that they had to complete it or they wouldn't have passed the course. And the only way I was able to reach this student was through their cell phone from the learner information station. So please complete that. I only do that if necessary, if I absolutely must. If you don't respond to the inbox messages, if you don't respond to email messages, then I resort to text message. And if I don't get a response there, then I call you. All right, next. The attendance verification survey. If you've already done that so far in this semester, then you would just put in your student ID for that. If this is the first course you're taking in this summer session, then please go ahead and complete the survey. All right, so now this should not take very long, probably less than 15 minutes to complete. Once you've completed that, please go ahead and go into Module 1. And what I have here is, you will see I have a video lecture. That is my video lecture. It explains the module in detail and help you. There is an overview and objectives of each. I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. All it is it shows the course level objectives, the module level objectives, the activities in the course, and the assignments in the course, and how they are aligned with the module objectives. All right, so just so you get an idea of that, some students like to really hone in on that and take a good close look at what the objectives are for the course. Next, we have a reading. So all the required readings are in Canvas, and here is one of them. Then we have some resources. So I'd like you to go through the module in order, the way it is presented. And then we have resources here. Here's a slide deck. There is, and often I will have a brief video lecture with the slide deck, so to help you get through that slide deck. There's some preparation for our final project. And then here is the final exam review sheet. What I'd like you to do is download a copy of this. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. This is something that you work on individually and is not part of the team effort. I'm going to just show you what the exam sheet looks like here. So it's just some line items. And what you're going to do here is we talk about Paul Graham. Now, what do we mention in the course? You will look at either the reading, the video lecture, the slide deck, or some of the other resources, videos, or so forth within the modules of the course. So what I'd like you to do is just focus on the information within this course. Please don't do a Google search on Paul Graham, because you're going to get an enormous amount of information, and that information will just completely fill up your review sheet, and it won't be a helpful tool when you're ready to take the final exam. I allow you to populate this sheet, submit the sheet for credit, so you get a grade associated with it, and then you may use the review sheet while you're taking that final exam as sort of like a tool to help you. I find that this has been very useful. Students really like it, and it helps to give them sort of like a recap of the course. But what I suggest you do is fill this information out as you're doing the modules. If you wait till the end of the course, it will become an overwhelming task. But as you're learning about each of these line items within the module, just populate the information here. Can you use screenshots? Yes. Can you type the information in? Yes, of course. But I do also require you to have, I believe it is 5 pages of your notes. So you will see it's double line spaced. Really, it's really, when you come down to it, it's 2.5 pages uh, of single line spacing, but double lined, 5 pages, that's not a lot. Normally, students write 10 to 15 pages. I'm only asking for 5 because you need to have enough information there from the course to make it valuable for you for the final exam. The final exam is due in module 14, so please go ahead and work on this as we do each module. All right, let me go ahead and get back to where we were. So I'm going to just go through module 1 a bit here for you, and then just kind of glaze over the other modules so you get a feel for what we're doing here. But I also want to go over the prep for the final report, because that's important to do in the very beginning in module 1. You are going to come up with a company. I'm going to look at all the students that are in the course. I'm going to put you in teams. If for some reason you don't like your team, for whatever reason you want to be moved to another team, or you have maybe a group of friends that you'd rather be with, let me know. As a matter of fact, let me know early on in the course, as soon as you log into the course, and you can look at people here and see who's in the course. And if there's someone that you want to be teamed up with, just send me a message through inbox, so then I can go ahead and just start putting you in the teams with students that you want to be teamed up with. So I'm very happy to do that. But let's say that the teams get going, and we have a couple of 3 case studies that we're working on. And those are team oriented, but everyone is required to do all the same amount of work. And then everyone can view each other's work to see that you are a good fit for a team. And then you can see your strengths and the weaknesses of each team member, and how you can work together as a team for the final project. The final project is the major part of this course. So what you will need to do is, within your team members, you need to come up with a company that you can interview and ask questions, and hopefully they'd be willing to grow their business, so you can offer suggestions on how they might grow their business. I know that might seem, wow, we're going to be able to do that. Yes, you will. After you go through the case study analysis and go through some other learning within the course, you will have the skills to offer suggestions for a company to grow their business. Students find this very exciting and very helpful, and they really, truly enjoy it. And what we do in the end is, after you finish the final report, I send it to the business owner, and I copy you as the students who compile that report. And the business owners seem to really, truly enjoy it, and the students really enjoy it. And it's a feather in your cap. Okay, so now, as I said, if there's an issue with any team, or you want to be moved to another team, let me know. And please let me know early, rather than waiting later in the course, because then it becomes much more problematic. All right, so now with the company selection, I'm just going to show you what that looks like. Here, certain criteria, that's very important, right? We want to find a company that is willing to grow, right? So some companies are just happy, just putzing along the way they are, day by day, sort of like mom and pop shop. And they're happy that way. They're not interested in putting all the extra effort into growing. So it would be a good idea to find a company that's willing to grow. Oftentimes within a team, there is somebody who's working for someone. There's a parent or a sibling or a relative or friend, or someone that owns their own business, that has been in business for at least 1 year and has a working website and is earning revenue, right? So they are actually in the process of earning revenue. Those are the criteria for acceptance for the business, for the company. So what you'll do is just you can look over this information. I go through this more in detail when it's due, but I want you to think about it in advance, so then if you have a company in mind, you can share it with your team. Say, yeah, this is the company I have. What do you guys think? But you just choose the company that's the better fit And better to have a company that's been in business for actually more than a year, because then there are more opportunities for you to offer suggestions because they're doing more, they've been involved more. So it creates a better opportunity for you rather than having a fresh company that somebody who's working part-time at it, and we need someone who's absolutely working full-time on that venture, and that is they're working on it completely. So very important to have that done. All right, so let me show you the company selection template that you're going to complete. It's really actually very simple document, not a heavy lift. Once you know the company that you're going to be working with, then here it is. All the team members' names would be put on here. The company name is here, their complete mailing address, including zip code. The contact person, typically the business owner, but it doesn't have to be. One time, actually twice now, we've had publicly traded companies, and that's fine. Sometimes they can be so interesting and interesting to share with the rest of the class as well. So I don't close doors and tell you you cannot use a certain company. However, I do tell you that company must be in business for a year. The business owner must be doing this as a full-time effort, and they have to have an active website, and they're earning revenue. So those are the important criteria. Other than that, it can be maybe your contact is with a general manager or someone else, or maybe a franchisee owner, and that's fine too. So we do bend a little bit to make it work. All right, so next, that person, the contact person's name, typically the business owner, but not necessarily, that person's name, their email address, and the website URL address will go here. And then after maybe speaking with the business owner, in the very beginning, you may have some ideas. Maybe you've looked at the website. You may have some ideas of some of the issues or challenges that the company is facing. So you would, not necessary, but if you have some ideas, go ahead and list them there. All right, so after that, so that is something that I just want you to be prepared for, to address that. You don't want to be rushing to get that done. I address it in the very, very beginning under module 1 so that you are ready to be prepared for that. Okay, so then, so you go over the slide deck. Here's the final project information. I went over the final exam review sheet with you. There is an optional honors component project to this course. It's actually pretty manageable, even in a 6-week course. You go through Google On Air on demand, and you are completing 3 assignments here, and then you are creating a website portfolio. So that would not be LinkedIn. That does not count. Wix is a good one. They have lots of really nice portfolio templates already for you and make it very easy for you to just go ahead and follow their procedures to set up the portfolio. It's really great to have this portfolio too, because it's great if you want to go to graduate school, if you want to have your display of information to a prospective employer, if you want to work before you start your own business, or if you want to demonstrate your expertise to customers. It's wonderful to have a portfolio in place. So I ask you to start the portfolio. Some of the items you might want to list here are reference letters, examples of outstanding academic work, professional development activities, any type of professional academic awards that you may have won, clubs, study abroad, any type of volunteer work. So there's a whole list of different things, maybe some military experience. Here are some excellent portfolio examples you might find interesting. How to build a Wix online portfolio is a link here. And then if you want to keep your portfolio private, here is a link that explains how to do that. And then you would just give me you still have to publish it, but it's private, and you have to give someone a passcode to see it. So you have to give me the passcode so I can see it, but it's still kept private. And that's a nice way you don't have to have everything out on the internet. And then if you want to, use it for grad school or something. You just give whoever is needed the passcode so they can see your work. All right, so you are required to get a B or better in order to earn the honors credit. That is an honors school requirement. You do not need to be an honors student to take the honors component in this course. You just have to take the honors component. And so when you receive your transcript, this course will show as an honors course on your transcript. So, buku, good credit for you. So hopefully you'll consider doing that. It's manageable and it all ties in with scaling business or your own self as an employee. So hopefully you will take advantage of that opportunity. And you also get a little extra credit for that. You get a 1% bump in grade when you complete the components. So next for the assignment. So you can see how I've broken this down. My lecture, readings, some resources, and then assignments. This assignment that's due in this module. So as far as these resources, they're due, but not in this module. So they're set as a resource for future modules. Okay, so now here, a video introduction of yourself. Please introduce yourself through a video like I'm doing here. You can just use the video formatting. I have instructions on how to do that here in the course. So you can go ahead and just select the tools to record yourself on here, which is really nice because then it just pops up automatically. Or if you want to upload media, please use the upload media link here instead of the record media so that we don't have to download your video. Your video is up and ready to go. The same that my video is up and ready to go for you. So everyone can get to know you better and I can get to know you better too. I find that really very helpful. Some brief information you may want to include about yourself here. Please limit it to 60 seconds at the most so that you don't have to spend a lot of time on this. After viewing the introduction of your peers, please respond to at least 2 peers. You have points associated with the response. So 5 points for your post and 2.5 posts for each reply. So if you only reply to one person, well, you're not going to get full credit. You're not going to get the 10 points. You're only going to get 7.5. Please reply to 2 peers and then and have this included so you do get full credit. Next, I think one last item here is a reading quiz that's associated with the reading up here for reading 1. And so we want you to be able to understand the reading. If you just take the quiz, you're not going to get the full benefit of it. And it also, if you do the reading, it ties in with the final exam review sheet. So go ahead and read it. It's not a heavy read. It's not a lengthy read. Go ahead and read it. You get a feel for what it's all about. Startup equals growth. Then take the quiz, and then you'll get a good score on the quiz once you've read it. I suggest you take the quiz right after reading it so it's fresh on your mind. But this system falls true with the following modules for the next section. So here we have another here, we're doing stages of growth. And so we ease into this course. It's kind of basically the same. There's a little bit more in module 1 to get you started. But once we go into module 3, we start in with the case study analysis. The first one is the GoPro case study. There are 2 readings associated with that. Now here you're starting your team work. So you're working on this as a team. And so it's very important that you take the quiz so that everyone on the team understands the reading and the case study. And then you take the quiz, you have full understanding of it. So now you can work together to go ahead and complete that case study. I have information under each module that explains this module and explains all the assignments. And I think you'll be in good order with that. Now, another thing I want to show you. So that's how the modules go. I want to show you the syllabus. I'm going to go ahead and you see where the syllabus is. When this is all kind of stuff you can read through and how the grades are distributed and so forth. And if you are interested in withdrawing from the course, you need to do it by July 19th, according to the 3/2 withdrawal rule. You must be able to follow that. Any student has less than 70% by June 28th must have a meeting with me, and please, we want to get you back on track. All right, so let's just go to, here's the optional honors credit. But now this is just some other, sort of protocol for, good behavior on online. And then we go down to the course schedule. So I find students really like this one-page course schedule that shows each module, the recommended dates that you should do the work, what the content is covered, what your readings are that are due. Sometimes I have a video and some other things. And here are the assignments associated with that module. So you can see we jump into this course very quickly. So the first day of the course, 6/24, you have a reading and you have a quiz due on the 24th. So we don't waste any time in a 6-week course with scaling ventures. Next, we go to the very next day, between the 25th and the 27th, to do module 2. You do the reading, you take the quiz, you start your honors, set up the portfolio. If you're going to do that, I hope you will. And then we move into the next few days. And if you follow this recommended work days for this, it works very smoothly, right? So now here we go into module 3. This is the teamwork. So now you're working with your team from the 28th to the 30th. It's still individual work within that team assignment, but you start to get a feel for the members of your team and making sure you're able to work together well. So you can see how everything, we're closed on Independence Day. There are no assignments due. And then we go down to the other modules. Now here, the next section, designed for growth, this is when we start our final report. So here we have a team charter as how students are going to resolve problems within their team, how they're going to work together. And so that I find is very helpful to students. But then also we have the company contact information that I went over for module 1. That needs to be turned in on the 8th. Now, can you turn it in before the 8th? Absolutely. You don't have to wait until then. So these are hard deadlines. This information is due, these due dates. You please do not turn anything in after these due dates, because what will happen is you and your team will fall behind, and it's very difficult to be caught up in a 6-week course when we're doing this amount of work. So if you follow the protocol here, you can see here on the 11th, you're doing the strategic planning. On the 12th, you're doing the business model canvas, 13 SWOT analysis. Then we go to the 14th, the customer factory. And again, on the 14th, the CAC and CLTV. And then we have draft reports that are due. Here's the introduction section, which is very, very light. I just want to make sure that you are following the template that I provided in the course for the final report, and that you have downloaded Office 365 and you're using Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word, excuse me. So that is required. And then we have another draft due, and then another draft. Now the drafts are set up to be, you turn it in and then you get a completed grade once it is completed. If it is not up to standard, I'm going to kick it back and I'm going to ask you to do more work on it until it's complete. Once it's complete, then you can move on to the next draft. But please, turn it in on time so you have the opportunity, or early for that matter, so that you have the opportunity in case I kick it back for more work, that you have the opportunity to get that work done. Typically, if you follow the instructions and you're using Microsoft Word and you're using the template and you save it on your computer, one person saves it from the team on their computer and just adds to it with each draft, you shouldn't have a problem, but hopefully we'll see how that all pans out. So next, after the final draft for the experiment section, then we go into the entrepreneurial organization. Here we can see what we're going to be doing here. The final report is due on the 25th of July. And then we have a slide deck for the presentation that's due. I've given you all the resources that you need for that. Then you have a team final presentation. I'm going to suggest that you use something like Zoom, because that way you can share your screen like I am, and then I still have my video presenting this screen, and this is what I expect of you. Please don't do an audio presentation. You must do a video presentation of yourself, sharing your screen for your portion of the slide deck. And then the final exam at the very end, and then you're finished with the course. All right, so please, any questions that you might have, just go ahead and reach out to me. I think that you will find the structure of the course and the syllabus course outline manageable. But if you're hung up on something or you have an illness or something has come up, please reach out to me right away. Please use Canvas Inbox. And I look so forward to seeing you in the course. I am in this course every day. So, and I also, so fair warning here, I go to sleep early. I'm usually in bed by 7 o'clock and then I'm back up by 5 a.m. in the course. So if you have a question or concern in the evening, I'm not going to answer it until the following morning, but you will be able to get an answer from me usually between 5 and 6 o'clock that next morning. So please be mindful of that, that if you have a question or a concern and you want an answer that day, you're going to have to reach out to me before 5 p.m. All right, well, I wish you lots of luck. I'm so excited to be getting to know you, all of you, and some of you I know from other courses, and I'm just thrilled to be facilitating this course. Thank you so much.